So I got the phone call from Harvard Collins that said, "Hey, do you want to have Amber Tamlin in your store?" And I'm like, yes. That would be great. That would be cool. We can do that. That's a thing we can do. And so anyway, that's how that happened. And couldn't be more honored. We've got big fans for A-Man in the house here. The book, and this is where I'm telling you guys, no spoilers. Those of you who've read the book already, we talked about this a little bit earlier, and you can actually question later because it was interesting. Yeah, bad things will happen to you if you reveal parts of the book that spoil it for everyone else.
Everyone dies at the end.
She's allowed to spoil.
Okay. So honored to have Amber Tamlin and Rictea Wilson with us today. And did I just call you by your Gibson? Yeah, it's on her shirt.
We don't even need
So,
to name that.
sorry, we've gotten so close so quickly, we were just first name, so I apologize. Thank you all for being part of the Fountain family today. We welcome Amber Rictea to it as well. So, thank you.
Hi, you guys. Thanks for coming out. I want one of these for my house that I can also put tags on, like patriarchy burn, like whatever the daily reminder is. Thanks so much for coming here on a Saturday afternoon. That is a great shirt. Before I read from this book, I do want to introduce my best friend in the entire world, Rictea. This has been a real extraordinary experience for me traveling. This is my 27th city out of 38. And I have had the pleasure when I initially thought, you know what, this would be really fun to go out and hear new voices from different cities and different communities that I would never normally get to hear their work. And I'm kind of blown away by some of the writers that I have met and some of the perspectives and the ways in which they write, and it's been really profound. And in my little bit of Google stalking of you, I feel like that's going to be the same way today. So I would like to introduce Rictea Gibson. Is the author of 7 books, which include tales about magical food, social media, and colorism. The freelance writer also has written content for Amtrak Writer's Digest books, Cuisine Noir magazine, and several lifestyle magazines. In her spare time, she co-hosts a weekly podcast, Black Girls Talk Sports, and explores Virginia's 200-plus wineries. Literally, I said we were best friends. Ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Rictea.
It's a great introduction. I'm so honored to be able to do this. I connected with Amber on Twitter, so that was kind of fun. So Twitter's really good people. So today I'm going to talk to you about the Food Temptress. The Food Temptress is set in New Orleans. My character Ambrosia uses food to seduce men, and it converts them into the perfect guy. Imagine that, right? Some good food. So I'm going to read from the first chapter down to the nitty-gritty. And so each chapter is named after a type of food. So just to prepare you, okay, my butt's hitting them. It prepares you for the chapter and what food she's using. And so Ambrosia decided to get a job at a cafe just to meet a guy. I know, kind of shallow. But she's going to work her magic. Sorry, I have to wear these because I can't see. She's going to work her magic on him with her. Anybody can guess what kind of food she's going to use? The chapter's down to the nitty-gritty.
Oysters.
Grits.
Ooh.
Grits.
I like grits better.
So we're going to start right in. All right. 15 minutes later, Ambrosia returned with his order and the grits. Here you go, sir. Enjoy. As usual, Norris arranged everything before diving in. He looked at the yellowish substance dotted with red specks, poked his spoon into it, and examined the mysterious stuff. Cheesy grits, how nice. He commented in a mocking manner. First, Norris ate his eggs and bacon together. He bit into his toast, sipped his coffee until one piece of bread was gone. Norris picked up the last piece, but put it down and tried the grits instead. He felt someone watching him, so he looked towards the kitchen. Inez stared at him, anticipating disappointment. Ambrosia, washing down the table nearby, expected a miracle. Norris squared his shoulders, nibbled on the grits, and set his spoon down on the table. Picked up the plate and lowered his nose into the food, whiffing like a pothead. His eyes twinkled. He grabbed the spoon again and licked it clean. He dove in, scraped another heap up of goodness. As he opened his mouth, Ambrosia studied his full lips, noticing them for the first time. The pepper sauce that she stirred in before serving exploded in his mouth. He closed his eyes for a moment. A teardrop fell from his left eye as the cheese tickled his tongue. As long as Norris had been coming to the cafe, the serving staff had never seen him eat anything except eggs, bacon, unbuttered toast, and black coffee until now. What the hell? This is good. Waitress, a waitress, who made this? Ambrosia smiled nicely. I did. Want more? He nodded. Sounds good to me. You can have some every day when you come in. Norris placed his money on the table, and as he turned to leave the restaurant, called out, I'll see you tomorrow. Ambrosia was now full on beaming as she cleared the table where Norris had been seated. He walked out with a little pep in his step. Ambrosia was proud of herself. She never knew how her food would affect men, but it would. Yet, she never knew for how long. She already had noticed a positive change in his behavior and hoped to reap the future benefits. She could not wait to see him again. The next morning, Norris sat at his special table, smiling. The servers looked at each other in amazement. Instantly, Ambrosia appeared. Good morning, Ambrosia. Hello, Mr. Richards. I'll have the Norm and some cheese grits. Certainly, sir. Ambrosia, this is it. Yes? I'll have a small glass of orange juice with my meal today. A small pang of disappointment hit her. She shook it off, decided to play along, where there were plenty of grits to serve. Why, Mr. Richard, you W. She headed towards the counter to pick up his order. Norris grabbed his fork, dove right into the breakfast without a solitary thought about the method in which he was eating. He ate like a regular guy that day. The plate was a few inches from the table's edge. He drank out of a glass instead of using a straw. Ambrosia was happy her plan seems to be working. That was a cakewalk. She watched him eat his food as she delivered a tray to a customer seated near the front of the door. They were nameless, faceless, unimportant because Norris was there. Norris started with his grits, alternating bites with the rest of his food. He closed his eyes and moved his head from side to side, similar to Stevie Wonder. It's really gone to his head. Take it easy, big boy. That stuff is potent. Norris finished his meal and motioned Ambrosia to his table. Ambrosia, that was another great meal. Would you consider going out with me? You caught my eye when you fell with Grace at the farmer's market earlier in the week. I've been checking you out ever since. So what do you say? Yes, I'll go on a date with you. Let's meet at 11 o'clock on Sunday at Copeland's. I hear they have a good champagne brunch. Here's my phone number, he said, handing her the business card. Give me a call so we can get to know each other a little better before we go out. Ambrosia was almost speechless. Okay.
Thank you. Give it up one more time for Rutana. How you feel? All right, good. Good. Again, thanks for coming out, you guys. I have to share something with you, like major news that just happened in the middle of that reading. This fucking dress has pockets. Right now that happened. The whole time I brought my purse. I hate hate bringing a purse to anything at all. I was like, I brought it because of my glasses and all my stuff, and I didn't need it because I have pockets. Yes. Very thrilled. So for those of you that haven't read this book or are unfamiliar with it, I'll just tell you briefly. Any Man is a novel which follows the lives and experiences of 5 different men who are sexually assaulted by a female serial rapist. It is a book that's a conversation starter, I hope. My great hope with it is that it sort of degenders the conversation around sexual assault so that we can start being more inclusive about other physical bodies that are harmed, not only in the process of violences, but all of the violences that come after the fact. So that also includes not just the act of sexual assault, but how the media, if someone is known or even becomes known in any capacity afterwards, is treated, how that person is silenced, how that person might lose their job, all of this sort of violent atrocities that happen after the fact. And so I think I'll read, it's been a sort of different experiment in every city, and I think just today I will follow the through line of one specific character. I'll read some pieces about his existence in his life, and then also sort of showing the larger macro lens of the world in which we currently live. And then afterwards I'll take some questions, so if you guys have any questions about writing, writing style, Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, notes on everyone's mind. Whatever it may be, I am here for you. This is your time. And before I start, I just want to say too, there's some of the stuff I'm going to read in here might be a little upsetting. So I totally honor and respect your need at any point to get up and step out, move away, whatever you want to do. Put your headphones in. I will not think you are rude. I will understand. So just please know that up front. This story begins with a man named Donald Ellis. Am I in a body? No body answers. Camilla rolls me in a wheelchair down a Listerine-reeking hospital hallway toward the elevator. It's easier this way, they tell us. It will be painful for me to walk for a few weeks. I can't lift my eyes to meet those of the nurses, patients, or doctors as I go, but I can feel them. I'm a damaged relic leaving the museum for good. I stare at their shoes. Patent leather, slip-ons, wedges, I think they call them sneakers, even high heels, all those better, happier feet. What would you like for dinner, Dawn? Camilla asks. Light talk is as good as any other way to begin my death sentence. Steak, lasagna, all food is a last meal. Fish, everything leads to my execution. I'll have the fish, please, and Camilla, my dear, can we swing by the bar on the way home? I think I left my body there. The elevator doors open and a woman and her husband step out carrying flowers and balloons bearing the words, "Get well." She stops at the sight of me, gasps, and halts her husband with a hand to his chest. I'm sorry, but are you Donald Ellis? No, ma'am, but I get that all the time. You must have mistaken me for a butcher's block. You must have mistaken me for a skinned deer. You must have mistaken me for some coward. Donald is no longer with us. Donald died reading a poem to a bullfighter. Donald was scratched to death by a peacock. Donald passed away trying to make love 200 meters under the ocean. Donald left this world chiseling turquoise out of rock with his bare hands. Donald's fingers bled to death. Donald swallowed 100 matches and rubbed his body against a volcano. He died instantly. Donald got into an argument with the moon and died instantly. Donald revealed how much he could love and died instantly. Donald met his friend for a beer after work and died instantly. Donald has to explain to his children what happened and will die instantly. Donald will touch his wife's thigh and die instantly. I just want to say, it's so awful what happened to you. You're like all over the news. But just like know that everyone is on your side and sending you prayers. Donald dies instantly. I'm so sorry to ask, but would you mind if I got a selfie with you? Later on, Donald goes home to have a sort of out-of-body experience with his own physical self. He perhaps has one of the more physically violent assaults in this book that leaves him unable to use his genitalia anymore. So he has a real othering from his own sense of living and livelihood. And then he sees on the news one morning when he's starting to make some progress that the authorities are reporting that another man in the area has been also assaulted. And you start to realize that perhaps this might not be just a single incident. And then in that same way, the media starts smelling blood, and they start smelling the story, so they start coming around. May 8th, 2016. This is an email. Dear Mr. Ellis, my name is Marcia Broskov, and I'm a producer for the Melissa Hope Show. As you may know, Melissa is a legal commentator with the #1 current affairs talk show in the country. We think you are absolutely riveting, and have been following you since the story of your assault broke a few months ago. We are such big fans. We'd love to bring you on the show to discuss your activism and your thoughts on your attacker. Please let us know, and looking forward. Best, Marcia. May 9th, 2016. Hi, Marcia. Thanks for reaching out. I haven't really done anything of this measure before, and I'm not sure I'm entirely comfortable going on a talk show at this time. I don't know. It's still hard for me to speak about it. I need to discuss it with my wife. I really don't want to go into the details of what happened that night. That's the main thing for me. I'd rather discuss the culture surrounding sexual assault and how few men report being assaulted, but also how few women are actually believed. That's what I'd rather talk about. Let me know what you think. Thanks, Donald. P.S. Out of curiosity, how did you get my email address? May 9th, 2016. Great to hear back from you, Donald. Why don't we just go ahead and confirm your participation, and you can always pull out if you need to. No pun intended. I feel with these sorts of things, it's always better to get it on the books than decide. We will, of course, understand if you change your mind. And yes, we can absolutely discuss the broader themes of society's role in rape culture and the issues facing men and women today. Regarding your email address, we called your daughter's school and someone there gave it to us. Hope that's okay. Best, Marcia. Later on, this female predator reveals herself on one of the only ways that authorities and the FBI come to meet her, by the name of Maud, and that's on an online chat room. So of course, reporters start reaching out there too. Joshua, Dispatch. Dear Maud, my name is Joshua Greenfield, and I'm a reporter with the Dispatch newspaper. In the event you ever check this OkCupid account again, we would love to get a statement or comment from you regarding your relationship with Jamar Sands, Donald Ellis, or Per O'Sullivan. Specifically, we would love to hear from you directly regarding your motives. Perhaps one of these men did something to you at some point. Perhaps you have your own history with violent men. Anything you would like to tell us would be printed verbatim. Looking forward to hearing from you, and thank you for considering this. Best, Joshua. Maud is offline. Good evening. I'm your host, Melissa Hope, and thank you for joining me on BCN's #1 primetime television talk show, covering all of America's most horrific stories and injustices right here on the Melissa Hope Show. Our top story tonight, male sexual assault. As you know, this program landed an exclusive interview with Donald Ellis mere months after his assault and has continued to lead the charge with the most up-to-date information and coverage on this horrifying case as it continues to unfold, centering around a female serial rapist. Joining me tonight on the Hope panel, Brenda Lendowski, a forensic psychologist and former FBI investigator, now a fellow BCN contributor. Welcome to the family, Brenda. Jennifer Sampson, a criminal defense attorney, and Meryl Bichette, social media critic and blogger at everythingmen.com. Meryl, break it down for me. How is Twitter reacting to all this uncertainty? What is the general consensus out there among the top voices in America? Give me their reactions. Did anyone watch at Melissa Hope Show tonight? Coining the hashtag #MaudToPenetrate is a stroke of genius, a consensual, non-violent stroke. Daniel Tosh. At Pulitzer, please give at Melissa Hope the big P for naming the lady who did bad things to some dudes. Hashtag mod to penetrate. Fat Jew. Conflicted about hashtag mod to penetrate. Why was this married father of two drinking with a random woman in the first place? Meghan McCain. My new album is written for the victims of hashtag mod to penetrate. Donate to my Kickstarter album fund today. Amanda Palmer. Dudes cannot get raped. Trust, it's not possible. Someone is lying. Hashtag hate mod to penetrate debate. Kanye West. Yes, men can get raped. There is no mod to penetrate debate, only rape. Teen Vogue. Can a man be raped? Some say not possible. Join the mod to penetrate debate tonight on Facebook Live. Facebook. Read Jonathan Safran Foer's new short story, Maud and the Medusa of a Man's Arousal, in our summer issue, The New Yorker. Maud's all, I'm not going out tonight. I'm just going to stay home, Netflix, and rape. Whitney Cummings. Join our panel of experts tonight to discuss the heated topic of male rape on Fox News. Sean Hannity. We will be protesting outside Brown University today, where Senator Donald Ellis will be speaking about sexual assault. The Westboro Baptist Church. Don't worry, we are working with Greatest to catch Monster Mod. Disgusting. America has best, most amazing experts. Lots of exclamation points. I think we all know what president that is.